don't know if this worked or not. Let's see. With the live stream thing here on YouTube. Says I am streaming. Guess this is working. Correct. Oh. Is it not live? I want to go here. Manage. There he is. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Let's see.
Okay, cool. This is working. I don't think I've ever done an actual one on like that. There we go. I don't think I've ever done anything here on StreamYard before.
It's different.
I like that other one, but again, you got the icon. I didn't.
That's weird.
I don't know why.
On the one that Streamlabs OBS is, yeah, Melon, yeah. I'm not sure why it let me do it for, I mean, free-ish. You can only have one guest.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, because when I go to do it, it's like, oh, you got to pay $30 for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. Let me mess with my audio here.
I hear you good. I think everything's all right.
No echo or anything like that?
Nope. It would be.
Okay, cool.
I got the RTX audio, so it filters you out.
Okay, good.
All right, so let's see if I can figure this out. Screen share, that one, share. There we go. Whoop. Like that. Okay. So I'm trying to learn Ideamaker. And if anybody else knows a lot about Ideamaker, please let me know. I'll gladly invite you in here to the chat. Aaron knows a bit about it, so he's been helping me out on things with this. And I will show real quick, actually, before we even get started, kind of the benchmark I'm at right now. So let's go here to me. This is my current Ideamaker print. So it looks over extruded. Retractions look kind of rough, and it also isn't really filling in this section in here. It's really not filling in the way it should. Sorry, the focus is a little rough on there. And then I did another test print with my old trusty Simplify 3D, and it looks like entirely better here. See if I can get that lighting on there properly.
Yeah, that one looks perfect.
Stop focusing on my face. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty close to it. Retractions are still a little rough, but nearly perfect with Simplify 3D. That's not what I want. I want to try what everyone keeps busting my balls about, which is Ideamaker. And I mean, retractions look like it's too much. It looks like it's over extruding in some places, under extruding in others. The layer consistency on the walls is horrendous. This is both the exact same spool of filament, but the consistency here, it's under extruding with Ideamaker, but it's not under extruding with Simplify 3D. So I'm not really understanding that.
So on your model in Ideamaker, it was hard to see on the video and in the pictures, but it obviously was over extruding. So we got to dial that back a little bit. Maybe do a like a wall, like a single wall print to see the flow test. But I'm wondering I didn't see any gaps though in the top layer. Are there actually gaps even though it is still over extruding?
So from what I can tell, where is the other one? So I did make some change. Let me see if I can switch to my other camera. I don't know if I can.
Because the reason I ask is, I mean, sometimes you get over extrusion, and it makes I almost wonder if that over extrusion is accentuating your the steps on your layer lines on that curved face. Like I'm wondering if there are actually gaps between the actual extrusions, or if it's just that it's so over extruded that it's giving you like ridges.
So this was the original one.
Okay.
And again, you can see it kind of looks like it's over extruding here in the middle. But then in here, there's actually like gaps in there. It's all 0.2. Sorry. There we go. It's all 0.2. And then the walls, I mean, look how nasty those walls look.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And then, so I made a few changes, and then this is the most recent Ideamaker. So again, looks like it's over extruding. This doesn't look as bad anymore, but these start stops for retractions look like garbage. And again, the walls look horrible.
It's like you got something wrong with your printer. It's that bad.
You can actually see some under extrusions in there, you know. And then again, same roll of filament, just a little bit later in the spool. Here is Simplify 3D, very uniform, great retractions. Everything start stops up here look great, and in this corner it looked really good. And look at the walls.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It is a night and day difference. Again, you could still see some retractions in here. So that's not fully dialed in, but I mean, it's a doggone near perfect print with Simplify 3D, which kills me that I keep going back to it, because it is, you know, my tried and true. It just really is.
Yeah, and I'm there with you. And I mean, so this, I don't know if you can even see this. This is off of Ideamaker, and the top on it is like, I don't know if you can even tell. Like it is. There's almost. It feels like a bottom layer almost. So, and this is ABS. ABS is the hardest to get good layer lines on. So, I think we just got to get you dialed in. I think the first thing we should do, if you can, is throw out a quick one or two wall cube, whatever you like to do. Get just like, oh, you got one. And what did it come up with?
So this is also where I found some issues. So in here, under advanced, override filament settings was checked, and it had the flow rate to 90%. So that meant my extrusion was down to 90 instead of the filament being, it was at 0.9, it was at 9.4. I upped it to 9.5 to try and fix some of the gappage that I was having in the first Ideamaker top layers. I changed that to 0.95 or to 95%, and then this one filled the gaps more, but again, there's still, it looks really rough. But this one wall one is, I think I measured it, we're at 0.41, 0.42, 0.43, 0.41.
And I'm assuming that's then under extruded then.
0.41. No, because
you get the set for that?
The profile maker made it as 0.4 as the extrusion width, not 0.48.
Let's fix that. Put it at 0.48. Everybody loves the 0.45, but that's one thing I have stuck with from Simplify 3D. I have stuck with using a 0.48 extrusion width. It works really well. And this is, you know, everybody's got their own theory on what's the best way to do it. Like some people say your nozzle is 0.4, you should extrude 0.4. But the nozzle's got flat areas around that orifice that are meant to squish out in my opinion, squish out the filament and still flatten it out, which is why I think, you know, Prusa sets theirs for 0.45, S3D sets it for 0.48. I'd say go with 0.48 because S3D.
Well, yeah, because it's supposed to be 125% of the nozzle size should be your extrusion width. Yeah,
I've tried it. Doing it, you know, on multiple slices. I think with actually not on Ideamaker, but on Prusa Slicer, I was like, oh, let me try it at 0.4. Somebody said that was a thing to try. I never got good prints out of it, so I'd say start with that and maybe kick off another cube. Just, I mean, even if you just get 5 or 6 layers out of it to measure it to see if it's better.
What should I change the extrusion multiplier or leave it at 95%? I mean, generally
what do you have it in Simplify 3D? What is it in Simplify 3D?
So that's the thing. I actually don't like the profile that I found for it.
Okay.
It is set to 0.39
What?
with an extrusion multiplier. So that's what this print came out of. This glorious looking print was 0.39 and a 1.0 extrusion multiplier. Again, I don't like it, but it worked like a charm. It really did.
Okay.
So this is off the JG Aurora wiki, the basically fan based wiki, consumer wiki, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but it was the same one that I was looking at the Marlin 2.0 firmware. It's the same place I found this profile.
So the fact that, I mean,
glorious.
Obviously running it less than 100% is going to get you your right extrusion width. This just tells me that, you know, this is set for 0.39, but you're extruding 100%, which is more than the actual width. So you're over extruding to get a wider path here. So if we could do lots of math, which I don't feel like doing math, we could probably figure out what that actual extrusion width is compared to what you've got. But that just tells me it's over 0.4, which is fine. If it works, don't mess with it. The problem is you don't really know how to measure that. Like it's not you know what I mean? Which is, I'd rather get it dialed in. And what you should do is try to do a small tower. It doesn't have to be tall, just enough to get the calipers on it. But don't do a complete vase mode. Do a base on it. That way we can look at the top layers and the extrusion width all at once.
Okay. Ryan, yes, the usual is 94%, but again, I was seeing issues. I'll go back to 94%, and we'll leave it at the point. What do we say?
For the width?
Yeah,
I run 40.
94%. All right, we're gonna delete this. Import the test stuff. Where's it at? Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Test stuff. I have a 40 mil cube here. I'm just going to scale this down 50%. And then slice and dice. I need to change this to spiral vase. I think that's the only thing I need to check is that, right?
Yeah, that should still give you a first layer, yeah.
Slice, yes. Preview.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got.
And you can even stop it after a few circles.
All right, let me get this rock and rolling here.
While you're doing that, I'm going to grab a print that just came off my printer in PETG out of Ideamaker that I want to check out the top layers on to see what mine actually look like.
Okay. There's Dan. What's up, man? That's what I'm doing, Gunner, except we are going to keep the bottom layers there just so it kind of can see what that looks like. Start preheating that. Turn down one of the fans because it's a little loud in here.
Yeah, so this just came off. That's my top layer.
Let me see here where you at. How do I make you the front person? Oh, I drag you over. There we go.
There you go. So, I mean, it's like reflective smooth.
Yeah. That's PETG off the Voron?
No, I wish, Voron. This is off my cheapest printer. This is off the Wrecker. This is off that square tube i3 that has lots of parts from my old ANET A8. But it's running the Bondtech Bear extruder.
I don't know if this was grapple or not.
No, I broke the pin, the ABL pin sensor on grapple.
Oh, that's no fun.
Yeah, I haven't fixed it yet. It's just sitting there. I broke the end off it. Don't ask. I was stupid. An adjustment that didn't work. But yeah, let me bring this profile up along with a couple other profiles. We can kind of do some comparing. I was hoping this would get done before we did this because I wanted to get this print off to see just so I actually could use a profile that I knew was actually working on the top.
Yeah, is that a weight for something?
It's the insert for a mythic mug.
Ah, okay. So Brandon was asking how to turn off the adaptive layers. That's in the that was in the settings group and layer settings. It was enabled by default, so I just had to uncheck it right here, and that turned it off. That actually, because again, that's what I had to do last night in order to get the small maker cube not to take, or a small maker coin not to take an hour.
Yeah, and that what is that in? That's the group settings. That is a fantastic spot to bring in just the settings that you know you change a lot.
Yeah, actually, Gunnar just sent me a screenshot.
Nice.
He was saying to do. Let me find where it's at real quick. Here, GFS. Yeah, so he was saying under. Oh, he did here in template for ones to always have up there. So
yeah. Well, no, if you just go to if you just add them in the, you can do it in the template, but if you add them to that group layer settings, they'll stay in there no matter what template you use. Like I always have layer height in there. I always have, and you do too. Infill is a good one to have in there. Top and bottom layers, default print speed, stuff like that.
Traction speed.
Stuff that you know you mess with a lot.
Travel.
And then you don't have to go in, hit save on your profile, change something that you may or may not want to have permanent, stuff like that.
And he did. He did have spiral. Oh, you can search. Nope. Nope. I see spiral on his, but I don't see it. I guess it's in the, has to be in the other one.
The
Oh, I didn't know that save. What the heck?
Oh, the vase mode. Yeah, I don't have it in mine either. I think. What is that? Is that one that's not available in the group settings? I think that's different because it affects.
It's under the template.
It's because you can't do a spiral vase mode on a group.
Ah, okay. Yeah, spiral vase mode. There it is.
One model at a time. What was I just going to say?
Where's
oh, that JG Aurora thing. That's is it direct drive or Bowden?
Bowden.
It's Bowden. Okay.
Long Bowden.
Long Bowden. Always helpful. Let's see.
Why isn't Aaron in the chat? He is in the chat.
Aren't I? I can see your chat. What happens if I? Oh, you know what? I might not be. I'm not.
Oh, okay. I don't know how you can tell.
If you try to tag me or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, again, I don't know a whole lot about this, so it's, trying to figure it out as we go along here. Like that. There we
yeah,
go.
now I'm in there. Just gotta make sure I mute myself.
Go along the vases now. We'll let it go, 10, 15 layers and check from there.
Go pretty quick. So let's see here. Oh, I don't know. I was going to try to find.
It looks like
have you been
in the back of Aaron's room?
we could turn that into a belt printer. That'd be hilarious. It's about the same size as, who is it in the Discord that has that?
Oh yeah.
It's awesome. It's so cool. Like, now that's a belt printer I can get on board with. It was made for the right reasons, for fun and not reality. Have you seen
did you see the Reddit post?
The one that got posted in the Discord?
Oh, was that in Discord? I saw it somewhere. Yeah, man. Basically, people were just ripping her apart.
Well, and then her responses, I'm just like, dude, calm down. If you're going to be the face of
Just
Creality, you
nervous, man.
gotta slow your roll if you're going to be the face of Creality and make comments like that. Like you gotta, no, crazy.
Sorry, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to. Oh, sorry. Have you been to Ideamaker's library, where it has all the pre-built profiles that other people have built and uploaded?
No.
I meant to look before the stream, but I just got done working. I'm going to go check to see if there's a JG Aurora A5S profile there.
Where's it at?
I got to remember. It's like Ideamaker. I think if you just Google Ideamaker library, it'll probably come up.
Yeah. So printer model.
There you go.
Please input. JG. Oh, that's all. They're all the common ones.
Yeah, there's not one out there. Shoot, I hadn't looked for a
only
while.
35 in here. This
is still really new, and this is one of those things that I think could be a really, really cool addition to any slicer. But it's community driven. Like it's meant for people to upload the profiles to when they have them kind of dialed in, or even just as a starting point. But yeah, there's not enough up there yet, and it's got printer profiles as well as filament profiles as well. And I've used a couple of them. They don't have any of, well, none of my, nobody has my printers because they're custom, but
John, there's a post in the Discord of basically someone screenshotted Naomi's reply to the Kickstarter because of some issues and basically cussed them out for lack of a better word.
Oh, she did.
You know, I mean, she's swearing in her reply, which, I mean, she swears at everybody. I see it all the time on Twitter. And I think that's a horrible way to do business, but it's the Chinese way, I guess. So, you know, whatever. Power to her if she wants to do it that way.
It's
There's a button in Ideamaker.
There's a button. Oh yeah, you can jump right out of Ideamaker. You're right, Ryan.
Oh, the library. That's what that button does. Okay. All right. Good look.
And then if you find a profile that's out there that you do want, you can, once you dial into it, there's a button to actually have it just directly import into Ideamaker, which is nice. Although I have not found a whole lot out there yet. I probably should get off my you-know-what and actually contribute to it. Maybe that'd be helpful. I wish Chris Warcrocky would put his up there. I need to pester him about that. He's got all his on his GitHub, so that's good. But it'd be nice to have him. I mean, he's going all in kind of on Ideamaker too. I should ping him on that and see if I can get him to upload his stuff up there. I think it'd help a lot of people. Although I'm
trying to shame him. I'll shame him into compliance.
Do it, man. Hey, you got me to build a Voron by doing that.
Yeah. Okay, so we stopped, and I gotta say, man, these walls look beautiful. They look good in the single one here as well. But they're good. I mean, it just kind of kills me that in a regular print it sucks. All right, let's see here. So we're looking for 0.48 or that there close to it. Zero these out.
Something near.
All right, so we got 0.4. Got to make sure I don't squeeze too much. So 0.5, 0.51.
Okay, that means we're on the right track then. Because we were expecting a little, I was expecting a little over extrusion on it.
5.2, 5.2, 5.1, and 5.1.
Yeah, how's that top layer? Is it pretty rough looking in there?
I mean, so it's definitely missing. So I don't know if I'll be able to. I don't know if I'm be able to zoom in enough to see this here. Let's see if we can get this to focus in there. So if you look in the, where's it at? Look at this top corner up here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see if I can get the light in there properly. Come on, Shane.
Kind of see it.
But yeah, you see right there, see the spaces?
Yeah.
The dark lines, spaces. But then if you look down at the rest of it, it doesn't have any of that. Let me see if my flashlight, my phone will work a little bit here. Come on, focus. Yeah, you see the up in that top left corner for me? But then if you look at the rest of it, it looks fine. I don't know what the deal is about that.
So I'm thinking.
Switch back to me here, and then switch to here. Settings here.
So we definitely got to dial back your actual. So if you go into your template for PLA, let's dial that back to where you had it at 94. So that needs to be what, down to what, 93, 92, 93 to get down to 4.8. So if you're 94, I should probably have a calculator out.
Tiny gaps check. Where is that at, Ryan? Ryan, you should be in here. Like,
yeah, jump in, Ryan. Come on.
You have a microphone and stuff, because I did this on StreamYard for a reason.
Yeah, where is the gap? I gotta find that one. Check thin wall. That's single extrusions, fill gaps and shells. Yeah. So under other.
Okay.
Allow filling gaps using single. That's not the one you care about.
Yeah, but that's for like between two walls. That's too thin for infill.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with just a top layer. Where is it?
Let's check solid fill. So, because this is solid. Use gap filling for failed solid fill parts. That's not it.
Yep, and I've got that checked on mine, but that's obviously not doing it. So I think what we need to do is get your extrusion width correct, so it actually knows how much it's putting out. And then I've got my mouse over your screen like you can see it. And then I think we need to adjust the top surface fill extrusion width percentage.
Yeah.
My guess is we'll probably have to adjust that up after we get your extrusion width correct.
I already did change it here. So top solid fill flow rate is 105.
So that's your top fill flow rate. But if you go over to the right a little bit.
That's top though. That's a top solid fill.
And this is where it's hard to understand which is which, to be honest.
Because then there's top solid fill extrusion width percentage.
Right, and I was thinking that's the one you wanted to mess with.
So if we take this back down to 100, nope, that's the wrong way. Come on, and turn this up a smidge, and then if I save that.
So, but that's for solid parts. I was talking about the top surface, the surface fill. So go back over there. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, this was 0. By default, it was 0. I made it 1 to try and fix some of the issues. I mean, the bottom looks honestly phenomenal. Like the bottom could not look any better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pleased with that with that results. But
sometimes a little over extrusion makes that first layer look wicked good.
True. I mean, it also is a 0.3 layer height on the first layer.
Oh.
That's default in Ideamaker.
Yeah, I changed. What's mine at? We're not worrying about first layer right now. Yeah, I have my first layer height at just 0.2.
Yeah.
But that's not where the issue is.
So do I think the i3 Mega profile would be a good starting point?
i3's direct drive. The Mega's
direct drive, right? It's also Bowden. I mean, it is.
Oh, is it?
Practically the same setup. I mean, it's just an i3 printer. It's just the i3 Mega smaller.
Ryan, I probably won't do a V2.4. Only reason I was able to build this one is because I had most of the parts already. I'm cheap. I took apart a really big Core XY that I kind of had hacked together that never really lived up to what I wanted it to. So I had bed, electronics, motors, rods, screws, all that stuff already. So all the most expensive stuff other than the frame I had. So that's why I built this one. And it was obviously rods. So that's why I went with the 1.8.
All right, we're going to kick this off again here. Media inserted. There we go. Okay, that's rolling in a moment. But I still don't see, Ryan, where you're talking about the tiny gaps. I see where somebody posted that, and I actually saw that somewhere else. Where did I see that at?
The tiny gap stuff? Yeah, I'm trying to find it myself.
The thing we were talking about earlier. Oh, Kennedy posted it in 3D printing.
Yeah,
someone posted
yeah.
it in random as well. Can you release grapple, Aaron?
I need to. I really need to.
I want to do a few more prints. I want to do a cube, and I want to do, oh shit, forgot to take that off there. Get out of there. Shoot. Yeah, it'll be all right. I forgot to take the skirt off that last one. I want to do a few more test prints, or like sample prints, I guess, on Master Crane before I end up releasing that. Just real quick. His whole leg failed. Oh, that's no bueno. Oh, ABS.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm not sure where you're. Remind me where that tiny gaps setting is.
Oh, that's why that failed so hardcore. One of the legs failed on the crow.
Oh.
I printed a bigger one, and then the one on the chin failed. So you got a hairy chest. Still some cracks in it, so I'm getting some airflow leakage in there.
What are those crows for?
My dad.
Yeah.
He just wants to put them. We got a house up in northern Pennsylvania, and he wants to keep all the birds and stuff away, and rodents and things like that. He wants to keep them away, so he wants a couple of crow decoys.
God, crows are so smart. They'll probably figure it out so fast.
Well, no, we want the crows to be there, and if more crows come, great. It's to keep away all the rodents and stuff like that.
I gotcha.
I didn't swear. Other in profile settings.
Other in profile settings.
And the only thing I see in there is this gap fill in shells. Hey, Jim.
Profiles. I'm looking at other. What you talking about, Ryan?
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about.
There's gap fill in shells. But this isn't the shells is just the outside. Shells are perimeters.
And again, that's if you have two perimeters and the nozzle is only wide enough to do a single line through there. That's the same thing as Simplified 3D that allows single extrusion fill.
Yeah.
Which means it doesn't have to zigzag around or whatever your infill pattern is. It can just go and do a nice straight line through there.
Mm-hmm.
Mark is red. Freaking Discord. So gonna looking to fill the gaps in the solid layers. Because there's gaps in the bottom of this. Well, I guess the top layer of the infill in there, there's gaps in there. And I really don't think it's the filament because I know what a good print looks like. And I was able to get other ones to do. I mean, but this one was fine. Oh, I changed to me here. Let's go to me here, this. So this one, the inner walls came out just fine, or that infill, come on, focus, came out just fine. If you look inside of there, that looks great. It's really hard to see with the light. Apologies for that. But everything in here looks fine. But this was before we changed the infill setting, so that's, you know, no bueno there. This to this. So Jim, yes, I do know that retraction, which is funny. So let's look at retraction settings real quick. So extruder. So retraction in Simplify 3D is 6.5 at 60. So we can replicate that in here. So this is 60 and so 6.5. Action, no amount, extra restart, no, restart speed 25. It should just be 60 as well, right? Be the same. We're not doing any V-hop. So I do have wipe enabled, I think, in here. No, I don't. There's no wipe enabled. And again, that got pretty seamless results. You can definitely see some of the retractions in here, but there's definitely worse things like part cooling. I think 6 millimeters might be fine. 6.5 might be a little high. So I'm getting a little extra blip there when it restarts. But that's only in the walls, because on top, you can't see any of that issue at all. So it's weird.
So I found an article or a blog post on the Ideamaker forum, the Raise 3D forum, about something very, very similar to this. And Vicky, who is kind of the Ideamaker dev representative and is a super helpful person, they're always getting back to people, is saying, well, let me just send this to you. Basically kind of saying what I was thinking on using that top surface solid fill section. Basically what that does, let me back up a step. The top and down solid part section is for every solid layer. The top surface solid fill affects just the very top layer. So if you had 10 layers on top, it's only going to affect the very, very top facing one in that little section in the upper right.
Okay.
So the reason I think the reason for that is because if you were to try to over extrude all those top layers, you're going to get it. It's going to get that buildup. But when you over extrude on top of over extrude, you then start getting squish out basically. I think this is to help avoid that. So you can, even if you're under extruding a little bit on those layers below it, you can then even over extrude a hair on that top layer, and it'll probably come out good.
Yeah, well, because I didn't change that setting, I changed the top solid fill extrusion percentage. It looks even worse inside of there.
Yeah, and does it look way over extruded?
No, it looks less. Like there's more gaps now.
What?
Yeah, there's more gaps in it now. Let me change this here.
Yeah.
Go to me, and then focus on my hand.
Oh yeah, that's worse.
Yeah, you see all the gaps in there?
Right.
All those dark spots, that's all gaps.
Yeah, I think So you have, for that print, you had the top solid flow rate set to what?
I had the extrusion width or the flow rate.
Oh, what do you got?
I did set this to 103%.
Okay.
I think that did it. That did not do it. So I'm just going to set this now to 103%. But I'm going to check the walls first here.
And did we, yeah, I was going to say check the walls. Yep.
Five one.
Thought we changed that.
5-0. 5-1, 5-0. 5-0. Need to take it down another percent, I guess.
Yeah, it didn't change.
Well, it was 5-1 and 5-2.
Oh, gotcha. Then yeah, at least 1%.
Some of it's under extruded though. Looks like that's 4.8 there. 4.7 there. So weird.
That is really weird. If you didn't have a good printout of S3D, I'd be blaming the printer.
No, I guess that's pretty spot on. Once I even my pressure, it's 0.49.
Okay. Well, that's
pretty much all the way around.
Call that good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd leave everything over on the left, columns on the left at effectively 100%, because at this point, that 100% is 100% of your set extrusion width in the whole profile. Or of the 90, of the one we set before.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if that will even out these walls that just look like garbage.
I would think that would be the first thing. The first thing we need to try. I mean, if you're over extruding on walls, it's gonna. That's what it's gonna do. It's gonna look like your belts are not tight or something.
Well, again, I can't really tell if it was actually over extruding or not because it was 0.48. It was 0.4 before.
Yeah.
You know, again, it just wasn't quite filling in properly.
Well, and that actually kind of adds up, because if you're running your extrusion width at 0.4 and you're over extruding, it's trying to hit 0.4, but yet it's when it's over extruding, it's squishing out too much.
Yeah.
You can't control how much it's swishing out, which is going to give you those weird edges, in theory.
Yeah.
It sounded good, right?
It did. It sounded very intelligible. So, all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and so I think we're good like this then. Wait for it. I'm matching retraction to Simplify 3D since Simplify 3D retraction is good. So I can save that. Turn off viral vase mode. It's going to be 15. And I want to delete that. We need to import my coin. Oh, I didn't want that one. That's Dumbledore. I don't want Dumbledore.
We'd be done tomorrow.
I mean, this is going to take, I'm going to do this at 200% so I can actually see what's going on. Whoa, not max fit either. Good gravy, Shan. What are you doing here? Scale, there it is. So 200. But I always print this at 200 just because I can see more with it. I can see walls. I can see support. I can see overhangs. I can see a lot with this print. So the other thing is that because it has the adaptive layer height, should I use it? Well, Simplify 3D doesn't have that.
Yeah,
and that's when I think it kind of makes comparing apples to oranges, because adaptive layer height is better, 100%, but it's not going to be the same quality or the same scale as Simplify 3D at 0.2.
I agree. If you turn that on, you're comparing apples and oranges, or at least different kinds of apples. It's going to slow it down too. I don't use it that much. It just slows the print down so much because it just prefers thinner layers. which is great if you want detail, but
which it will preserve detail, like up here on the top. Like it'll definitely preserve detail up in here, no doubts there. But again, if I can get a good print with Simplify 3D on these settings, I should be able to get a good print with this on these settings.
Yeah, I feel like that's changing settings to mask a problem.
I will say it's funny that you're getting all the Uncle Jesse comments.
Because of the hair.
Well, because like once every couple months, I get the Matt Carricker Demolition Ranch comments.
It was funny. I just watched one of his videos the other day, and he's got his little montage he does at the end, and most of those are shots of him when he was younger. I'm like, God, that does look like Shane. Like
when AI, like, was that me clean shaven? Yeah. But everyone keeps saying I'm just his bearded, nerdy brother.
I hadn't even thought it. You know, I don't even remember who it was. It wasn't Ryan. It was who? Ryan. Who was it that called me Uncle Jesse? Was that you? Somebody else. It took me a second. I was like, wait, they're talking about me? Oh, right. He's kind of got the swoopy mohawk too.
Yeah. Because you said someone said that in whose stream was it? Joel's stream?
No, it was Dan's.
Dan. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think it was Dan's. Yeah.
No, Jim, I get what you were saying before. The issue with doing the big hangouts is I can't control what people say. I still like to be monetized. Most of the people that do the let's just hang out and, you know, BS for a while don't monetize their channels. So I'll go on those and I'll swear all the time because they don't care. I do care, and I do need to be careful of what is said on this channel so I don't get any strikes or anything against me. Something stuck on my glasses. Again, if everybody's on the same page and all willing to cooperate, yeah, I'll do these. But, you know, a lot of the time, that's not really what I focus on my channel. It's, you know, what I'm doing. There's so many people that do the group hangouts, which is great. It's just not really my thing.
Well, if and there's enough people that focus on that, like you can go jump on one of Dan's, you know, try
Dan, Christopher Cocky,
and they both
Solon, Justin. I don't think Devin streams. She just goes on everyone's stream.
Yeah, it's as far as I can tell. It's the only place I've ever seen or even heard of her was on other people's group chats, and I was like, oh, I mean, now I know who she is, but had no clue before.
The robot girl.
Yeah.
Can't you just have non-monetized videos? I could, but it still affects your rating whenever it affects the algorithm. If you do non-monetized videos, it goes against your algorithm because then non-monetized means YouTube's not going to promote you. So hopefully, if someone looks up 3D printing live stream right now, if they search that in YouTube, my stream will probably be one of the top ones to come up because I'm always monetized. If you, FDM Lounge, another one, just kind of a hangout. But if I do non-monetized and you search 3D printing live stream, you might not even see my stream because they have no reason to prompt you with my stream, with my content, because they're not getting anything out of it. So, I mean, I try to play the game as much as I can. Again, I don't do clickbait titles. You know, I mean, I guess I've done one on the Sidewinder X1. That was probably my most clickbaity title I've ever done. You know, I've yelled at 3D Printing Professor for doing stuff like that. That pisses me off. And there's a lot of them that do the clickbaity titles. And yeah, if anybody is to stream or to cuss, it's going to be Gunner.
Sorry, Gunner. Can't trust you on a stream, man.
Probably should have. Yeah. So this print's then going to end up being two-toned because I am down to the last coil of filament before it gets to the end of the spool. We are all the way down there.
Have you tested the filament run out on that?
I did during the live stream when I did the
Oh, you did?
unboxing. I did it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it worked out great. The only thing I didn't do is the power outage yet. But yeah, it actually did a really good job of it. So that was quite surprising.
Where you're at, all you gotta do is just wait. It'll happen.
Yeah, it's not rain. It rained earlier today. Not raining now, but usually when it starts raining, we'll start seeing more power outages. Lots of test prints.
Ryan, 3D.
I also switched off just in case. Say again?
Ryan was commenting on 3D Printing Professor. He has an odd channel. I don't quite get what his focus is. It's strange. Like every once in a while, he'll do this review, and you'll be like, "Oh, this is really good information." He talks, and he knows what he's talking about. He's an intelligent guy, and he'll give you some good information on a printer if he's reviewing it. But then he'll go off in his rants about how Lego pulled all the Lego stuff off of Thingiverse, and then he went on this thing where he designs his replacement for Legos, his 3D printer replacement for Legos, and his whole channel became about that. His whatever, I don't even know what they called him. He called him.
Yeah, it was him and I think it was Calvin are the two that kind of like really went whole ham at that one.
That was making a mountain out of a molehill, in my opinion.
He does a lot of, I don't want to call them rants because they're not. But I watched a recent one from him the other day about, what was it? Was it design? I can't remember now because it wasn't really memorable. But it was kind of ranty. Like there's been a lot of ranty videos lately. But so what I was going to say is that I did switch to a different filament because I know this is KDS or KD Essentials filament. I know their stuff is good. I've done lots of prints with their filaments. I wanted to make sure it wasn't the JG Aurora spool that was sent to me, which it looks like a small spool of Sunlu because it's the same hole pattern as a Sunlu spool, but it's only 225 grams, or maybe it's 225 grams, maybe. It's not half a kilo, but I don't know who makes their filament or who they provide with it, but it's not great. It's already broken, so I might actually just throw this in the dehumidifier for the evening and see if it gets any better tomorrow.
Hey, Llama. Did you realize you're in here, man?
What's up, man?
Yeah, he came in just to say he's leaving, though. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Brandon, there are much worse ranters. It's true.
Much worse.
Ranters.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we're not even talking about what's-his-face, so.
Yeah.
We all know that one.
Be named.
Yeah. Tried ordering takeout tonight. Would not work for the life of me. Got so pissed off. Just, why can't things be easy?
And cheap. And free.
Yeah. I haven't had problems with Sunlu. Actually, their PETG prints really well at a lower temperature. So their PETG prints at 220, I've noticed, and got left, because that's all, Megatron is all Sunlu, except for the black. The black is Ziltech. But all the bright lime green is Sunlu, which I really like.
I haven't had any Sunlu for a while.
I haven't used their PLA in a while. I thought I had some more sitting around. I think I have still a partial spool of their PLA Plus that I bought a while back because I needed some black PLA.
Is that the Sunlu that's the really, really, really hard PLA, that super heavy duty stuff? Or is that the E-Sun?
I thought that was E-Sun.
E-Sun, yeah. That's the stuff that I really like.
PLA Pro or PLA Plus, whatever it is. A lot of people...
Indestructible.
Yeah, it's really hard stuff. No, but the Sunlu PETG, I do like that one. It prints well. Not really. There's really almost no stringing from it, so it actually prints really well. But their PLA is nothing special. I'd rather print Ziltech PLA because it's way cheaper.
Right.
We're on layer 2 now. It almost seems like when it starts the layer, it's almost like it's under extruding a little bit.
When it starts the layer.
Yeah.
So I wonder if maybe we just need to do a little extra restart distance, or maybe a little more overlap on the. So is it maybe the gaps, are they just near the perimeters? So maybe we do a little overlap. Maybe.
No, it's in between each of the layers that it's going through, in between each of the extrusion lines.
You know, it's funny, Shane. I just said I can't remember the last time I printed with Sunlu.
Yeah. Oh, that was Sunlu?
I didn't even realize what it was. Like, wait a minute. As I'm saying that, I went and checked because I just ordered this stuff. It's this. It's PETG. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I like the PETG. Coax, yeah, I still have, I think, I still have a roll of ABS from Coax I have not printed yet, I thought. Maybe I did print it, though.
Yeah, no, I haven't tried buying the IC3D ABS yet. It's like $30 a roll. I'm like, it's ABS. I know it's probably the best.
I mean, most. Well, yeah, ABS for that price is too much because no one prints ABS. PTG $25 to $30, PLA 15 to 25, unless you're getting the specialty. So if you're getting, protopasta, stuff like that, you're gonna pay the premium.
PTG's come down and PLA's gone up. Like I've been finding, like I was like, oh, I need black filament. Like who runs out of black filament? I do. Like, oh, I'll just go buy some cheap black PLA. PETG was cheaper. Like it's the PLA has just gone up. Everybody's printing PETG. That's what everyone wants.
Yeah, which is funny. I mean, I guess the supply has met up with the demand, which has brought prices down.
Yeah.
Because I still have another 3 spools of black Ziltech PETG because I've been using that for a lot of the printers that I've been designing and printing. So, and I need to have stuff around to screw up with.
Mm-hmm.
I've done Strong Hero PLA. It printed great. I've never tried their PETG. Only ABS that Voron life. Yep. Again, I print ABS on the FT5. Works out just as fine. Your
ABS prints have come out fine, man. That was one of the pulls for me for the Voron, other than the fact that they look cool. Yeah, that looks fantastic. That's hella smooth. When you get ABS,
is something else, but I mean, on the top there, again, I do have a few cracks in it, here and here. So I think that's from. Well, okay, so my enclosure for that is not airtight. And I have been debating on trying to seal up some of the gaps. Because since I did the 713 maker on there, it's using different panels. So where it used to be tight, there's now a gap. So I have been debating on 3D measuring that and then 3D printing an insert and kind of just putting an insert in there and calling it a day. Just haven't really done that yet. I did not have the fan running because there's an exhaust fan on there as well on a carbon filter, so I can exhaust the air, and have that carbon filter kind of take care of the smellies. But that was not on either. The only fan that's running inside the enclosure, well, actually, that's one thing that is running. So the way I currently have it is the fan on the back is pulling in, blowing on the controller, and there is some ventilation that pulls it up into the printer. So I think I need to flip that fan around and pull the air from inside the printer out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's less cool air on the components, but it is moving air, and moving air is cooler in itself. What do you need? All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, Ryan, I've used the Atomic ABS stuff too. That's pretty good. Most of it's funny. I had all the orange stuff right there. That's out of that just cheapo. What was it? The rep wrapper. It was weird. The filament. I had to ditch like 10 feet off the front of that filament. It was all just super. The extrusion width on it, or not the extrusion width, but the actual filament diameter was way off. And I just started going through it with the calipers and found it where it finally evened out. And I literally chucked a ton of that roll. And since then, it's been printing really good, but it's just straight, cheap rep wrapper ABS. But then all the black stuff on there is the eSun, the ABS Plus, which I think is that's kind of the recommended stuff for the Voron. It's really nice. It's so easy to print. Like if somebody wants to have almost as good as ABS quality or strength and stuff, ABS Plus from eSun is so easy to print. It's so nice. It comes out so good and minimal warping as long as you keep it. Honestly, you can do it in open air as long as there's not a breeze. Use atomic carbon fiber. I've not tried any carbon fiber filaments yet. They look cool. Haven't really needed anything that strong. Do they really come out that much stronger? Some super cheap YS brand ABS. Oh, that's good, John. $9 for a roll of ABS. And anything you can find. I mean, as long as it's actually usable, anything under $10 is a great buy.
All right, you hear me now?
He's back.
You hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Hatchbox ABS. I do have a roll of Hatchbox ABS here still. It actually got unspooled when I moved here 2.5 years ago. So I tried respooling most of it. So it's just kind of this big mess, but it is straight, I think. Kind of been debating on just unspooling the whole thing and then just respooling it.
Easier said than done. I thought that was going to be an easy task because we were talking a few weeks ago about doing a trimmer line for nylon.
Yeah.
I found some blue trimmer line. It came in this weird little roll. I'm like, well, I need to put this on a spool. So I thought I'll just sit here and spool this whole piece of filament on an old spool. I was ready to punch myself in the face after doing that.
Francis is asking, do I vent the fumes off the enclosure when printing ABS? Sometimes I do. Again, that's what that fan is for. It has a passive and active charcoal filter in it. So that eliminates 99.9% of the fumes coming out of that printer. But it also increases the airflow throughout the chamber. If I'm doing a small, short print, I will usually use it. But these crows are pretty tall. This is like 300 or 400%, and it's probably a good, how tall is this? It's a good, what's that? That's 180, almost 170 millimeters tall. So it's a taller print, and it's got a big fat body. So I don't want that extra airflow from the cracking. But again, because it's hot in here and I have the fan running, there is some leakage going into that enclosure. So it's not perfect, but for most of the things I print, it's fine. I printed a lot of the Lego car when I did the giant Lego car. I did a lot of that in ABS because it was cheap.
Right.
It's kind of why you buy ABS, because it's like $9 a roll on eBay.
Yeah, and to John's point, you're right. When you start putting the additives in the ABS, it does get a little weaker. I mean, the ABS pluses are not quite as strong. They're not quite as durable. I think they even get a little bit more brittle because, the one thing that's good about ABS is it's got a little bit of flex to it. And you also lose the ability to acetone smooth it, which is one of the reasons a lot of people go with ABS because it's so easy to smooth. You're definitely giving up a couple properties, but it generally is a lot easier to print. And I still think it's stronger than PETG.
I don't know about that.
It definitely behaves differently.
It behaves way differently. You got to figure. So the Rubbermaid tubs at your house, that's ABS plastic.
Right.
So, but you put that not in the sun for a while, and then it just breaks apart eventually. Yeah, this is completely cracked. I can I'm getting bad layer adhesion there.
Oh man,
I can just crack it right in half on that one crack.
one of the
So I
things
think maybe we'll up the
I do
temperature
really
a
love
little
about
bit.
it is how easy it is to finish. ABS is hands down the easiest to finish, which is why all the cosplayers use it. I mean, if you watch Fun me,
Bill Duran only prints in ABS.
That's it, and because everything he does, he has to sand. So I don't blame him. As soon as you have to start sanding parts, I would like, yep, give me an ABS part. It's going to be the easiest to sand. It's so nice to work with from that perspective.
Yeah, so I'll start another print for that. I'll put down a little more glue stick because the chin support did fail and the one leg support failed. So I need to put a little more glue stick down in that area. And we'll print it again. I want to use up this ABS anyways. I've had it for a long time. I want to just get rid of it.
It lasts forever, man.
Well, I also have a spool of pink ABS, which I don't know why. I think John Folger sent me that like years ago. He's like, here, I had this laying around. He threw me a couple extra spools, and I still have it up there in the package, in the bag, just chilling there.
That'd be perfect for a project, like a build-around project, something that you're gonna sand it and paint it. Like you don't care.
Or, Dad might get some pink crows that he has to spray paint.
There you go. That'd be perfect.
Because I want to use up as much. I'm trying to use up a lot of the filament before I move again, because that allows me to have the less filament I have, the more printers I can have.
Yep.
So, because that kind of goes hand in hand. What? Is he done? Is he? All right, I'll be right back. 1 second.
Yeah, what's interesting, Jim, is the kind of how they flex differently. Like ABS, it's going to have it's hard to describe. It's a different type of flex because ABS is more flexible than PLA. And obviously, PETG is, but only peasants use PLA. Peasants can't. But PETG, it's the way it breaks. It stretches weird, and I don't know. ABS it's just more like you know what it's going to do. I feel like PETG stretches and bends in such a weird way. Like sometimes it gives you the right flexibility, and sometimes it bends when you don't want it to. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. It's 85% water. You use 85% water and 15% PVA glue on what, Andrew? I must have missed that. Oh, you're talking about bed adhesion?
Oh, is that what he was? Oh, yeah. I just use glue stick.
Glue stick works fine. I have totally fallen in love with that bed weld stuff, though.
Oh, I you use bed weld. I have that
stuff.
I have some Magic Goo here. I have who was that one? Vision somebody?
Vision Miner.
Yeah, I have some of that.
Polymer adhesive. I've heard it's amazing. Magic Goo is amazing too, but it's amazing how much it costs for like the Magic Goo stuff. It's what, $25 for something the size of a small glue stick.
Yeah, Magic Goo is super expensive. I mean, it is really nice, and you only have to apply it really once, and then it's good for a little while. But it's a what was the word we used the other day? Bougie.
Yeah, it's definitely
for the bougie 3D printers that like, oh, I got the money to spend on like some of this kind of stuff. Like I buy Elmer's glue sticks by the case. I think I got a case of 30 for like $5 or $6 on Amazon, like for like back to school sale. Here he is.
Yeah, it's hard to go wrong with the glue stick because they're so cheap and they work really well. I mean, I just brought it up. The bed weld and it comes in a liquid bottle with a little spongy applicator thing on it. And it's a 4-ounce bottle for $20, but that 4 ounces goes a long ways. Like I've still on my first bottle of it, and I've had it for a while now. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm a fan because I'm cheap too, because it's cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can pet him. I'll get you water. I'll be back again. Kids are getting out of bed.
Yeah,
Give him a
Jim,
pet.
Vision Miner Nano is good, but it's because it's a tiny little bottle, isn't it? For like 30 or 40 bucks. And yeah, bedwell does last way longer. And the cool thing with the bedwell that I found, and they even talk about this on their website, is when you put it on your bed, if you get a few spots where it's come off, just take a damp cloth and just kind of smear it all around, and you just spread it right back out, and you're good to go again. Like, you don't have to reapply it. Like, I only reapply it on the bed maybe once a month.
You need to apply that bed weld stuff.
How do you apply it?
How often?
Oh, I was just telling like once a month.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And because as long as you let it, it's the type of stuff kind of like a ultra base where you let it cool down and then it just pops off. And if you actually take the time to let it cool all the way down, when your part pops away from it, most of the bed weld gets left on the bed.
Okay.
And as you start losing little bits around the bed, you just take a really lightly damp cloth and just kind of smear it all around, and it's refreshed. So you don't even have to reapply the whole everything. You just smear it around on the bed once or twice. I mean, if you're doing a ton, I mean, I don't print as much as a lot of folks do. So if you're printing a couple prints every single day on that bed, you're probably going to be reapplying it a lot more than I do. But I'm good for about a month on the bed with that stuff. And Jim, you've got like your special sauce of your concoction of ABS juice and PVA and bed weld that you mix up as the mad scientist.
Well, Jim also prints more than you and I combined.
Yes. For sure.
Jim is probably one of those top 1%ers of who prints the most.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you see how the side walls are looking on that thing?
No, it's not.
There
It's
yet?
too hard to see yet.
Shoot. I'm probably gonna need to jump off here in a little bit.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not staying on too long tonight. I really just wanted to get someone else's eyes on this, and again, hopefully somebody else can learn from this, or if they have comments, they can say it because they've seen my slicer settings, things like that.
I've been kind of jumping through my different profiles, trying to figure out what's what, and like I was looking at a couple of my profiles are from Chris Warkaki, and like he's got one profile. Is this his PLA profile? So I've got his PLA profile. Here, actually, let me share this.
Yeah, here, share it up, and I'll.
Where do I do it? Share screen. That one. Let's see if that goes. Is that flickering? Is that flickering for you guys?
Yep.
Let's not do that because that's going to give somebody a seizure. Jeez, that was crazy. Let's do a different screen. That was crazy.
Yeah, someone else with the treadmill in the background, future belt printer.
Yep. My wife would kill me. Oh, that
Second comment in the night, dude. I think, hey, if you're going to use it for something, if you're not going to run on it, might as well make a printer out of it.
God, seriously, we haven't been using it. All right, there we go. That one doesn't look like it's flickering so bad.
There we go.
Megatron. So this is my PLA profile from Chris, and I noticed this.
89%.
I mean, if you go through it all. I
wonder if that's the same thing as in Simplify 3D. The lower you put the percentage, the closer they get to each other.
And that's what I'm wondering now that I'm looking at this, because that is not what I was expecting to see there. Most of my profiles are at 100% because the ones that I built, I never really had to go tune that. But you know, I'm going to defer to what Warkaki says. But this is one of his profiles, and then everything else like is pretty standard stuff as far as I can tell. Okay, he does have this at 0.45, but you know, when you're talking 0.45, 0.48, there's not a whole lot of difference. I'm in the camp of it needs to be a little bit wider than the hole in your nozzle. Everything else, I don't even know if I've used this profile. I'm sure I have, but that's how he put it at. I'm trying to find one of his other profiles.
Is there any way to strip out all the raised crap?
No, I wish there was. I think it's kind of the price you pay for it being free.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like an INI file saved somewhere that I can just kind of delete out.
I went looking for it, and I kind of searched around to see if anybody else had. I don't think you can. I don't. It's their little way to advertise just a little bit in their software they're giving you, because it's not open source software, it's closed source, which is the downfall of, you know, it's the one my one little bit of, you know, maybe judgy gripe about it is that it's not open source, it's just their product. But they do a really good job of making their devs available to actually to input. Like when you come at them with a question or a concern or something's broken on the forum, they are quick to fix it.
Yeah. Is Cura open source?
Yeah, technically. Okay. Yeah, that's why everybody, like, you know, that's why Creality Slicer is Cura and a few of the other ones.
I thought they just flat out stole it. I didn't think that they were using any type of license because they steal Marlin. So
yeah, well, I don't think they're using it truly open source correctly, but that's why they have it, because it is open source and they can get a hold of the code. But yeah, it's open source. Which kudos to, who owns that? MakerBot?
No.
Ultimaker. You know, they kept that open source.
Yeah, their printers are closed source, but their slicer is open source. That's what it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll tell in like 2.5 hours when this is done on how it's going to end up being. So I'll post some pictures in the Discord, in the 3D printing for Discord, and see if what the differences are. Because again, you guys saw the most recent Ideamaker profile, and then you saw the most recent Simplify 3D profile, and it just kills me because like I am trying so hard here to peer pressure, get into Ideamaker. That's 100% what this is, peer pressure to get into Ideamaker. But when I get prints like this, and I go back to old trusty, and I get prints like this, it's just like, it's really, really hard, because I can set up a Simplify 3D profile in minutes. Now, granted, yes, I've been using it for 4 years now. Like, I get that part of it. Ideamaker's new. I'm trying to learn it. I am learning where things are set up, and I'm understanding a little bit more. But the one thing I don't like is how things override each other.
Yes.
In Simplify 3D, whatever you set is set. That's it. There's no like changing layer height in 3 different places, or extrusion width percentage in group settings in the template, in the extruder, or the template. Like, there's none of that. So I'm a little annoyed by that, but I am understanding. I do like the granularity of it, but it is, again, it's fire hose where you're looking at the infill percentages or like the speeds, and you can change
5 of them.
Like, huh?
And there's 5 of them.
Yeah.
You got to figure which one you want to use.
And the speeds, there's like 40 speeds you can change, because you can literally change the speed for like everything, which is great. Again, I like the granularity. It's just not easily digested.
No, I completely agree. It's drinking from a fire hose, and you know, they, for better or for worse, you know, like you said, it makes the learning curve really steep. But they kind of have this hierarchy type style of doing things where you got your printer profile, and then you can set more settings that are more granular at the actual filament type. So what is the filament type template. And then you go down into the actual profiles that can use or overwrite stuff above it. So yeah, it's a lot, and it takes a while to get used to it, for sure. I'll be curious how yours is going. These crap with the customer. Well, that's because they have 5 people working in a shop that are all going to get COVID, and then they're going to shut down their business in like 5 minutes.
The other thing is, I've never once in 4 years contacted Simplify 3D support.
They seriously, I know they've been they got rid of some people. They've only got I want to say they have a total of like 10 employees.
Yeah, maybe.
And honestly, this is why I think people should get off of Simplify 3D, not because it's not a good product. I have it. I've got the last version. I'm not going to buy the new version. It works great, but the Aaron Swami hat prediction is their next version is going to be something so completely different, or subscription-based model that they're going to probably go to is my guess, or they're just going to go out of business because they can't keep up.
Well, because that's their only revenue stream, where Prusa Slicer is free because Prusa's revenue comes from their printers.
Right.
Cura is free because Ultimaker makes their money from their printer. There's not going to be a Simplify 3D printer to supplement a free slicer. It's not going to happen. Oh. You know, Ideamaker supplements their money from selling $3,000 and $6,000 and $8,000 machines. They can have a free slicer. That's why they can do it. But when you have a software company that only does software, Adobe, you got to pay somewhere for it.
Yep.
So that's why.
Can't get Fusion for free forever because too many people did, and now we all have to pay for it.
Yeah.
They have to make money. It's their business. They are
Brandon, they are doing belt support. They apparently just tweeted that out a little while ago, that they are starting to work on belt support.
Yeah, I just saw that too. That's crazy. See, and that's a good example. You're talking about Ideamaker, right? Because they're looking at what's going on and trying to add features that people will want or need. Where Simplify 3D just says, "Oh, you'll see version 5 next year," which was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, they're not building trust at all with their customers. The people that use it and know it's a great piece of software. I mean, it used to be the only thing I used, 100%. But they've completely blown my trust in them because, there's no support there.
Yeah. Again, I've never really had to use it, so to me, it doesn't really matter.
Well, and I guess when I say support, I mean customer support for sure, which I haven't really had to deal with, but just update support for patching and stuff like that. Even if it's not a major revision, I can't believe they haven't come out with any sort of patches that, and then you can get $50 for
the last 4.1 or 4.2 was over a year and a half ago.
Right.
Maybe even 2 years ago. It's been a minute since.
I think it was 2018.
Does it show here? Help about 4.1.2. Just 4.1.2. Whenever that came out.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the current version.
Cool. I got to go jump up and take care of the kids.
That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night then, because
cool.
I'm gonna let this print. And again, so if you guys are interested in the Discord, if it's not down there, I will put a link down to Discord if you guys want to check that out. Thanks everybody hopping in. Thank you, Aaron, for hanging out for a little while and trying to help me understand the Ideamaker beast and kind of get used to this. So thank you everybody for hanging out. I'll be back again Friday with either video or live stream, and we'll see you there. See ya.
Bye, guys.